What's good, fellas? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. We have a special guest on today, Fatih. He is a tantric sex expert, and he also helps men with reclaiming their masculinity. Today, we're going to focus on the topic of reclaiming your masculinity. Now, obviously, we started a lot later than we were supposed to. We're having some technical difficulties, so I'm going to see if I can still get him on. If not, we may have to reschedule this. So let's see. The guest declined the live video invitation. It says you declined the video invitation, bro. That's weird. Let's try again.
No, I'm here.
Bro?
Hey, man. Finally, we made it.
Oh yeah.
So,
All right, bro. Brother, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling great, except this technical problems. Sorry.
It's all good, bro. It's all good, man. I'm glad we're. Oh fuck! Come on, man. At least we got to give ourselves an A for effort, man. We're trying to make it work. All right, fellas, we're having technical difficulties, so that's what's going on here. But we're not gonna give up. We're not gonna give up, man. Bro, let me know when you're back on. I'm gonna try to get you on. Yeah, fellas. I've been trying to get our. Hey, what's up, Thor? What's up? What's up, bro? Hey, what's up, Anthony? Yeah, bro. We've been trying to make this shit work. That's why we started so late, but we just refused to give up, bro. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get him back on. Cause it's a good topic, man. Reclaiming your masculinity. That's a powerful ass topic. So I wanted to get his insight on that. He's a tantric sex expert, and he coaches guys with masculinity. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Martin was doing a live yesterday. What's up,
Hey, man.
bro? Yo,
Can you hear me, bro?
yeah, yeah, I hear you.
All right, perfect. I mean, technology sometimes helps us and sometimes drives us crazy, right?
Word,
Like,
word. As long as we don't give up, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hell
I've
yeah.
been barking like a dog here, like, oh, come on, it has to work, like
Yeah.
having a little emotional catharsis.
Cool, brother. So, what's up, fellas? Welcome to this presentation. Today, we got a special guest, my brother Fatih. He is a tantric sex expert, and he also helps men reclaim their masculinity, which is the focus for this presentation today. So, brother, can you introduce yourself to the fellas?
Sure. Um, I'm Fatih from Turkey, and I've been, where shall I start? Like when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, I was struggling a lot with my sex life. I was a very early ejaculator. Like relatively being a nice guy, like a handsome guy, I had sexual experiences early on, but they were not very satisfying for my partners. So they were just leaving me after some time. So, and after a couple of years, I find these books about Taoism and some sexual techniques to improve my sex life. They didn't work, so I couldn't learn from the books. And finally, I found myself on an island in Thailand, where I studied 5 years of tantric yoga, Kundalini yoga, and stuff like that. Immediately, it helped. Like from the first days, my sex life improved a lot. And this was like more than a decade ago. And I find it very fascinating to explore myself as a man. So I also dived into men's work, like metapoetic men's movements of Robert Bly, and then this famous book came into my hands, King, Warrior, Magician, and Lover. Of course, David Deida was there. And then, and after that, my journey continued. Some different aspects of Tantra, especially therapeutic aspects, like understanding yourself with your relationship with your parents, your inner child. So I found myself in some Osho circles, and I think journey is still going on. Like I'm an open project. So I've been coaching guys for more than 1 year. I've written an ebook and I made a video course, and I have clients now and coaching guys into like wherever they are. Like some of them need to improve from zero, and we are working on their ejaculation. Some of them are already good. I'm coaching them into having orgasms without ejaculation. So yeah, it's quite a lot of fun, man.
Cool, brother. So hopefully we can on another presentation go into tantric sex and premature ejaculation and all that. But for today, I know we said we're gonna focus on how men can reclaim their masculinity. So can you go into how can a guy reclaim his masculinity?
Well, it's still related with sexuality and tantra, I think. Look, I told you, I mentioned you this book about male archetypes like king, warrior, magician, and lover. The main archetype there is the king.
Yo. Yo. There we go. Come on, man. We were going so good. Well, sometimes technology is not on your side. You just gotta figure some shit out. All right, let's see.
Yeah, something very strange going on today.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yo, so you could continue, or if you want to answer Anthony's question. Can you see his question?
He has a couple of comments. Can you read me the question, or?
Yeah, he said, I hope you tell us whether orgasm without ejaculation involves flexing the PC muscle. I hope it doesn't PC muscle.
Okay, I'm not going to answer technical questions for now. Like, can you hold on, Anthony? Like, I'll get back to you later on. I was talking about this king archetype. So, and spirituality is very important. In Tantra, there's the male archetype is called Shiva, okay? And Shiva is about being present, being conscious, okay? And women love that. When you're with your partner, if you can, like, there are a lot of polls, right? Like they ask a lot of women around the world, what's the number one quality you're looking for in your man? It's not a big dick, it's not a big wallet, it's not a six-packs kind of body. It's presence. They want their men to be fully present with them, especially during sex. So if you're fantasizing other women, if you're a lot into porn, and when you're with her, you're not really with her, that's a bummer. So coming back to your question, reclaiming masculine identity through Tantra is reclaiming that Shivahood in yourself. Okay? Cut the bullshit, cut the porn, and just learn how to connect with your own body. This is like the primary step. And it leads to ejaculation, sorry, it leads to orgasm and ejaculation. It leads to all kind of different experiences. But if you are not connected with your body, you are like missing the first step. So, and when you're really connected with your body and your senses and your pleasures, you can deeply connect with your partner as well. And you can slow down. You know, like many of us guys, because we are mostly exposed to sex through porn, like we watch a more aggressive and violent style of sex, right? I mean, it's okay too. I'm not against it. Like quickies and some gangbangs and hardcore sex sometimes is okay. But if you want to really connect deeply, slowing down the sex will help you tremendously. And many women came and told me that they love slow sex. And when you slow down, you can be more of a Shiva. You can be more present. And you can also connect with your inner feminine. You know, that's another very interesting counterintuitive concept here, because like we are taught to be boys, we're like guys, men don't cry, be tough, man up. You know, all these kind of ideas and conditionings from the culture and society are not really helping us as well. So, and I believe that when you look at the alpha guys, really on the top of the ladder, like Brad Pitt and guys like him, like they're really connected with their inner feminine, you know, like Johnny Depp, like they know how to be a lover, right? They know how to touch and to be touched as well. So that requires certain connection with your inner feminine. So in a counterintuitive way, to really reclaim your masculine identity, I think the way the route goes through embracing your inner feminine. And if you look at like really famous Tantra teachers and writers like David Deida, for example, he also talks about 3 stages, right? The first stage is like the typical roles of polarity where you are the masculine man, just typical man, you know, like our fathers or grandfathers. And she's just a typical housewife kind of person. But this doesn't really work in the Western society today since 1960s. The feminism helped to evolve a different kind of woman. They embrace their inner masculine. They know how to follow a career. They know how to follow their goals, and they have a purpose. These are all masculine qualities. And a lot of men simultaneously dropped their pure masculinity, and they started like just walking in the park, just having long hair, playing the guitar, and don't have any purpose, right? Just be in the moment, you know, just flow with life, which is very feminine. So, and these feminine men and the masculine woman, when they come together, there's not enough polarity. All right, the sex is not very strong, not very juicy, not very fiery. So data suggests that we need to reclaim our own identity. As a man, I'm aware of my inner feminine, and I'm still masculine when I'm with a woman. And she is aware of her inner masculine, and when she's with me or with another man, she's embracing her inner masculine, but still playing the feminine role. And that's very sexy. And that's the new level of evolution. And you can't just jump from one to the third. So if you haven't embraced your inner feminine, you need to do it now. Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah. So one thing you said earlier, you said something about connecting to your body. What exactly do you mean by connecting to your body, or how do you do that?
Well, just touching your body, giving yourself pleasure, but not just on your penis. You know, take some time, go to your bedroom, and just claim your privacy, like full on turn off the phone and lock the door or whatever, and just put on some nice meditative music perhaps, and just explore your senses, you know, explore your body. This is one of the first things you can do. I mean, going to the gym is quite helpful to, it's much better than doing nothing with your body, you know, just sitting on desk all day long is not going to help. So, and in the gym, you can spend a little bit more time, not just on strength training and muscle building, but spend some time on flexing your body, for example, stretching, like yoga classes or going to some Pilates classes. You know, they're mostly feminine things, right? You go there and it's only women. And that's also a great hack, I think. You can just go there and find a lot of beautiful ladies to chat with. But more importantly, it's going to help you a lot connecting with your own body. You can go into body work like massage. You can take some massage, even start learning how to give massage. Going to dance classes, you know, like there are many different ways to do that.
Got you. So, you brought up getting in touch with your feminine side, right? Um, so I guess at what point is that important? Like, if somebody's lacking the masculinity, should they be trying to get in touch with their feminine, or should they bring up their masculinity first and then explore their feminine, or should they be doing both, or how does that work?
What do you mean when somebody's not even connected with their masculinity?
They're
Like,
just not, and they're just not being assertive. They're not speaking up for themselves. You know what I mean? They're
yeah,
pushing passive. You know what I mean? Nice guy.
for sure. Yeah, I think first the masculine pole. Yeah, you start with that. I mean, if I think about a teenager, for example, coming from childhood into boyhood, the first step is to grow up. You know, like recognize that you are not a child anymore, but you're a man after a certain point. And this is also a major flaw in our society today. Like in the tribal communities or in the old times, there used to be a process called rites of passage, like certain initiation rituals that cut the bond from your boyhood to your masculinity, to your manhood. The boy is that, and a man is born. And these are sometimes so challenging that they leave the boy to a forest, like in a jungle in Africa, the tribe, and they lose some of these boys. They don't come back. So it's quite tough, right? And when they come back, they are not a boy. The boy is dead for sure. And Robert Bly was the first person to bring this into the modern culture's awareness. So we need some kind of, uh, maybe in a kind of artificial rites of passage for ourselves. And in today, it's becoming, these concepts are becoming very popular. Like a lot of guys are going and doing some vision quest, for example, in the Native American way, like in the Native American church tradition. You go to the forest 4 days, no food, no water. There are different variations of it, but it's quite challenging. It's not only for men, women can do it too. And you got to do it 4 years over, like you bring up some commitment. It's very spiritual as well. So this is the first step, okay? And after that, once you recognize you're a masculine person and you can speak up for yourself, or it doesn't have to be like a spiritual rites of passage, you know, like ideally spiritual is better, but you can just dedicate yourself at home. You don't have to go travel. If you can't travel, if you don't have the funds, you can challenge yourself, you know, learn and get used to be challenged by other men and by the society. And I'm sure you're doing a great job with your Facebook group and your lives. And and once you're ready, once you feel that you accomplish a certain level of mastery, then it's good to connect with your inner family. Then you will not get lost.
Got you. Okay, so connecting with your inner feminine, can you talk about that more?
Yeah, like I mean, this is quite personal, right? If I have an example, if I'm talking to a certain person, that will be easier. But remember what I said, like just go with the flow. Enjoy life in the moment. Don't be always goal oriented and having a purpose and plan your whole 24 hours, you know, leave some space for spontaneity, you know, go to a park, just forget about time, you know, like, of course you can't do it all the time, and go into your senses, go into your pleasure, go into your energy, masturbate in a non-goal oriented way. Like ejaculation or orgasm shouldn't be a goal. You just enjoy that moment. You know, like enjoy whatever happens. It can be an ejaculation, doesn't have to be, can be an orgasm, doesn't have to be. No agenda, pleasuring is a great way to do it.
So, what are your thoughts on cold approach? like going out and approaching women? Like, do you tell your clients, like, let's say they're not getting any women and stuff, and they've just been dry for a couple of years? Do you tell them, hey man, just go out there and talk to some women, or what do you tell them?
Well, I think that's a little bit in the field of dating coaching. I'm doing something slightly different here. They have a lot of common ground.
Mm-hmm.
And more about once you have a girlfriend or you have a wife, what you do with her in the bedroom, or how do you have a relationship. But of course, some guys, especially I have a client, and recently I'm coaching him into going into the cold approach. It's very useful, I think. And that's a great way to multiply your options, your choices, because we live in a small pool of options, right? And once you have that courage and assertiveness to go and talk to any girl on the street, that has a huge impact. It brings so much abundance in life, I think.
Yeah, I was just curious because for me, I feel like the way how I was able to bring up my masculinity was through cold approach itself. Like the experience I have with going out, approaching women, dealing with rejection, learning how to express yourself, learning how to express your masculinity, all these different things. For me, a lot of insecurities and, like past trauma and stuff came up, during those interactions. So it kind of helped me to, similar to what you were saying, like go from a boy to a man. That was kind of how I did it because I didn't have my father in my life for most of my life, so I kind of had to figure things out on my own. And it's interesting how I was able to use women, or at least interacting with women to work on my masculinity or improve it. And I have been like recently. I think the feminine part. I get what you're saying because for me it's been a lot of it's just been meditation, like meditating a lot and basically being more less resistant to whatever might come up in life, just kind of going, flowing with things, accepting things. I don't know if the word surrender hits as well, but like learning how to surrender more, is that part of it too?
Surrendering is a feminine thing.
Yeah.
That's very on the high scale, on the light scale of the feminine spectrum, right?
Yeah.
And it's a great tool of transformation and spiritual growth for a man if you can embrace that.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And I love what you just said about doing the cold approach as a way to challenge yourself, as a way to grow. So cold approach has been your rites of passage, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, to be honest with you, and it's something that continues. That's the great part. There we go again. All right. So yeah, apparently the connection isn't the greatest. I guess that's how it goes sometimes. Yeah, bro. All right, cool, man. So I guess what would you say is I guess like is there any like new concepts or anything new that you're working on that you think would be of value to us?
A new concept, you said?
Yeah, like just any new insight you've come across recently in regards to masculinity, in regards to dating, sex, whatever, like anything you think that would be of value for us to know or understand?
I mean, I think all the concepts that we have been talking so far are like the fundamentals
Yeah.
for reclaiming masculine identity. I think it's like building a building, right? If you want to, like, being masculine is building something. And you need to first have strong roots, like a strong foundation. And I think that foundation can have a couple of feet. And one of them for sure is like habits, like discipline, like waking up early, doing your exercises or meditation, breath work, detox, yoga, something, or some of these things. And whatever happens, they become like the main columns of your building. You know, like you don't leave them, you don't let them go. So, I mean, for me, it's very old idea. Maybe it will be new for you. But one of the key things in a man's personal transformation is what I call sperm economy. All right. So when you are very young, this maybe doesn't make so much sense or difference in your daily life. But if you can postpone your ejaculation, or if you can regulate the frequency of your ejaculation, it will have an amazing impact on your life. So, and I don't want to turn it into a dogma. I'm just inviting anybody who's listening to this to experiment with that. And maybe you heard about this no fap movement. They came up with this research that a bunch of Chinese scientists did, and they measured the testosterone levels of certain guys, some group of people that didn't ejaculate for 7 days, and they observed that the testosterone level goes high. So, and I believe that if they can experiment with some guys who doesn't do it for 1 month or 2 months, I think the testosterone levels will go over the roof. So instead of going and discovering some, of course, there are a lot of new things that I can talk about. There are a lot of amazing biohacks coming up. You know, like I recently got a Phoenix device. You know, like it helps with erection, increase the blood flow. Like there are a lot of amazing new technologies or methodologies. Like also, I'm into breath work a lot. You know, like Wim Hof style of breath work is super helpful. But I'm a tradition man. You know, like I love the traditions. And in India, for example, there's this tradition called brahmacharis or brahmacharis. These guys, they don't have a sex life until they're 25. And their brain works amazingly. You know, they can study science, mathematics, engineering, whatever. They become very successful. And then they got married and start their sex life. It's a little bit suppressive kind of culture. I don't fully support that idea, because in Tantra, we are more creative and more free. You know, we can eat our cake and have it. We can play with fire. And in Tantra, there is certain ways that you can have orgasm without ejaculation, or at least have sex and have a lot of pleasure without ejaculation, or masturbate without ejaculation. And this will magnify your energy a lot. You know, like 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. Your polarity will increase. You will magnify more women. You know, like compared to your ejaculating 5, 10 times more than that. You know, like every day or every day twice or something. So this makes a huge difference. I think that might be a new idea for you guys.
Right. Cool, man. Cool, man. Is there any questions? Let me see.
Yeah, let's go over to questions. Yeah, Tor is saying that I've seen the studies at 2 weeks there's a flat line. I would agree with that, because I also have a flat line. Like after ejaculation, the first week, the 7th day, I feel very masculine, and then it goes into a kind of plateau, but then it will start going up again at 3rd or 4th week. What the study says, but this is my personal experience. Okay, Anthony, PC muscle question. Well, I guess you're asking a little bit like a joke, right? You know, like, please don't tell me that it requires stretching the PC muscle. Can you please tell me why you asked this question? And meanwhile, I will explain something else. I think it's not just the PC muscle. The PC muscle is a little bit overrated. It's quite important, but if you're doing just this PC muscle pumps, okay, what did you read? Tell me more details. So these PC pumps, they are really helpful, but there are 2 main muscles on next to your penis that are kind of responsible for the erection. They are BC and IC muscles. And you need a tool like a private gym. You can go online and find this tool. You don't even have to have that tool. There's certain practices that you lift your penis on a regular basis, like an exercise, like lift it 10 times, rest, and then do another set, and then repeat 4 sets like that, for example. And in the end, if you still have energy, lift it and hold it as long as you can. And after a couple of weeks, put a t-shirt on it or a towel on it, make some heavy weight on it, and then those muscles will get stronger. And this can help a lot with ejaculation control, for example. when it comes to orgasm without ejaculation, it requires much more work. All right. One of the things here is that our energy channels need to be open. Okay. So maybe this sounds like a woo-woo for you, but acupuncture points are kind of proven that they exist. They send some certain wavelengths into our body, and the acupuncture points suck those wavelengths, and the skin reflects them back. So we have energy channels, like the veins are carrying the blood. These acupuncture meridians or nadis in the yoga, they call it, it carries the energy. So if your pleasure is energy, okay? So the pleasure, if it can be moved from local to global, you know, like not just the penis, but the rest of your body, then you can circulate that energy more. And it has, the first impact is that you can delay the ejaculation. The second impact is that that pleasure can trigger some unknown, hidden, mystical towns in your country. You know, like, oh, there's this town, I've never heard of it before. I've never seen it before, but it's there. You know, and how it happens is that you move the energy there. And there are a lot of different techniques to move the energy. I'm not going to go into the details here. But shaking the body can help you a lot. Voicing can help you a lot. Voicing is amazing. You can just sing mantras, or if you don't want to go into spirituality, you can just bark like a dog, whoa, 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 or like a wolf, ow, like could be any sound, and just free your voice. You know, just don't be afraid and go into your wild, authentic masculine sexuality. Just express your pleasure, right? We have a lot of pleasure during sex, and just express it through your voice. It will relax you very much. It will move the energy upwards. And if you add up some breathing, fast breathing, or shaking of your body, I mean, I just try to make it very simplified right now because I don't have time. But over the long term, like 3 months to 6 months, it's almost guaranteed that guys can have an orgasm without ejaculation. Tor, I'm 58. Regular sex is super important to health of a man. Yeah, sure, for sure. It is in our design from the factory, for sure, man. Like I'm planning to have sex when I'm 80 years old, or whenever, like until the last minute of my life, you know. And here's the thing: the Taoist masters of the China, they come up with these formulas of certain ejaculation frequencies. As the age increases, the frequency decreases. And it has a point. There's a logic behind it. And with Tantra, we are trying to even overwhelm those numbers. And I mean, you can fuck like a teenager even if you are 58 years old. It's possible. You just, there's a know-how to it. TRT, I don't support it. There are many ways to increase your testosterone, and this is one of the things that I'm teaching in my book, in my course. There are tons of ways: aphrodisiacs, ice exposure, cold exposure, go to the gym and do some leg training. There are tons of things. I wouldn't go for TRT. Brian had a question. Do you believe that this happens because it affects your behavior when you don't ejaculate when talking with women? I didn't get this question, Brian. Can you rephrase it, please? Okay, let's see if I'm missing any other question. Moses, I think joining the boys' brigade or scout for men is akin to the rites of passage. Yes and no, Moses. Like, it's funny enough, like when I was talking in a men's circle about this, an Israeli friend of mine, he came up and said, oh, the army service is like a rites of passage. But Robert Bly is very clear on this. If there's no spirituality in it, it's not a full-on rites of passage. And it can turn very negative. You know, like it can be just somewhere that you're just suffering for nothing. So, I mean, Scott for Man is kind of okay, but make sure that there's heart in it, there's love in it, in the initiation process. Rohitni, cold exposure after Wim Hof does help. Is that a question? For sure. I mean, look at Wim Hof. Like, he's a pretty masculine man, right? Tor, wife, 28 years old, and 2 girlfriends. They all get along. I'm a bit. You mean you have a couple of partners? Sounds cool. All right. Any other questions? Trey, you have some questions?
Nah, man. I see the guys are really engaged with this topic. This is cool. See if we missed any questions. I don't think so. Somebody, no, I think you missed one. Hold on. There was one about, yeah, Moses said, I don't know if you answered this, about delaying ejaculation. You said something about lifting the penis. Can you talk more on that?
Yeah. So you got the technique, right? There are certain muscles that help you to lift your penis like that. Boom, boom. Like, you can exercise them, like just lifting 10 times in 4 sets, and then make them stronger over the time, challenged by heavy weights, and also challenge those muscles to lift and hold. Like, can you hold it a minute, for example? Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe you can hold it only 10 seconds. Like, they rest one day, and then the following day try to hold it 20 seconds, and then try to hold it 30 seconds, up to a minute, up to 2 minutes, up to 3 minutes, it can even go up to 5 minutes. So work in both of these ways, and when during sex you feel you're coming close to point of no return, just stop and lift those muscles and lift your penis as strong as you can, as firm as you can. And of course, add the PC2, and add your intention to move the energy backwards and upwards in your body. It will help you tremendously. And also, your girlfriend or wife will like it so much. Like, there are not so many guys who can do it. And when you're inside of her and you're just lifting your penis inside of her, it's like, what are you doing to me? Like, it's kind of strange, but they love it.
Yo, I thought that was cool what you said about like howling like a wolf and stuff like that. So you legit be doing that while you're having sex?
It depends on your partner. Like, I mean, some of this stuff that I'm teaching is a little bit weird, right? It's a little bit woo woo. And if you're with a normal girl, it might be, she might not like it. So you got to make sure that your partner is okay for what you're trying to play with. But okay, so let's go into the voicing thing. Maybe we can make a little practice all together, right? Let's just close our eyes for a second and make sure we are relaxed. Make sure there's no tension in our belly. If there's a belt tensing the belly, relax the belt. Inhale from the nose, exhale from the mouth a couple of times. And if you want, you can join me in the voicing and just express your manliness. Oh. If you have some shyness, that's okay. You can just make voices like ooh or oh, that's also fine. All right. So let's get back. Like, you can just experiment with it, like your body, your spirit knows what to do.
Oh yeah. Any more questions, fellas?
So what I read is the PC is near the prostate and the electricity enlarges the prostate. Which electricity? Like the muscle, the strength of the PC is enlarging the prostate? I don't think so. Like these kind of techniques where you strengthen your sex muscles, Anthony, is massaging the prostate. Question where it's very common that if I don't ejaculate, what happens to my prostate? Will I get a prostate cancer? The doctors, I mean, there's one research that says you need to ejaculate if you want to avoid prostate cancer, but another research came after that and said it's the opposite. It doesn't really matter. You can hold it long time and your risk of prostate cancer will be low as well. So the ultimate answer comes from the yoga. Like, but yoga, when I mean yoga, I'm not talking about this bodily female type of yoga. Yoga comes from a very masculine place. Like all the first yoga masters and the gurus, they're all men, okay? And one of the things is to move the energy. Again, Kundalini yoga is, for example, a great way to move the energy upwards. There's a technique that I teach almost all my clients. You can maybe Google that. I will tell you the name. It's a Sanskrit name. Uddiyana Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha. And if you do this technique strongly and effectively and regularly, there will be like the energy will flow. And I think the prostate cancer is because the energy is stuck there. Okay. If the energy doesn't move, like imagine a pond, it will be filled with bacteria and fungi and all kind of non-hygienic situation will occur there. But if it's a running water, if it's a river, it's more healthy, right? So in the same way, our energy needs to flow. If you keep the energy in the same place, so this is also true for men who never have sex, you know, like they don't ejaculate at all, they don't have sex. So doctors tell these kind of guys to ejaculate. And maybe that's true. You know, they need to ejaculate so they stay away from this problem. But if you're in Tantra it's counterintuitive, you know, like we do everything in a different way. We are not just boxing with our enemy. We are doing Aikido kind of movements, like Judo kind of movements. So we take that energy, we circulate that energy. All right, now what you're saying makes sense. All right, thanks, Anthony. Thanks for the question. Thanks for all the questions, guys. So I think let's wrap up this one, Trey.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I appreciate you coming on, and thanks
Yeah.
for not giving up with the technical difficulties, bro, because I think this was very valuable. Obviously some unique information that we normally don't talk about in the group, but it's cool stuff, man. So kind of just give out your information, like if guys want to hit you up, learn more about you and your products and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, let's make it simple, you know, like just DM me if you're interested. I will send you the link to my free ebook and video course. And if you want to connect, we can jump on a free call as well.
Perfect, brother. Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks, fellas. Take care. Peace.
Cheers.